What's up, guys? How's it going? Hope you guys are all doing well. Light and love to you. Namaste to you. Just wanted to jump on and do some tarot for y'all. Hope you guys are having a good day, a good Friday. It's Friday on the west here, 7:55 p.m. on the West Coast, California time. Taking live questions, doing a live collective reading. In between personal one-on-one questions, I would like if the one-on-ones were tip and donation based. So check out the info in the description box below. Cash App, PayPal, Venmo are accepting methods. Check out the website. Check out the social media. I'm probably gonna actually record some content here really quickly. I might go live on Instagram as well. And all that good stuff. Hope you guys are doing good. Waiting in between calls. Let's go live. Because why not? Sorry, it's the Virgo in me. Just wanting to peel back this one hair that's sticking up. Try not to navel gaze as much. I don't think anyone's in the chat room either. If you are in the chat room, feel free to leave a comment if you have a one-on-one question you want to address. If not, I'm going to go live. And yeah, and then we can jump into the general creative collective, as I like to call it. What's up, guys? How's it going? I'm going to pull up the astrology. I got the YouTube simulcasting as well. Hope you guys are doing good. Feel free to like, share, follow, subscribe, comment, tip and donation-based questions. Wait for the YouTube chat to fill up. If you're in the chat room, say what's up. Everything is in the description box below. We went through some of the planets yesterday, so we might be doing that again today. We're going to do some general tarot, though. Just wanted to get some content out there. Haven't been watering social media as much. But that's okay as well. We could get back to that. Go ahead and follow over on TikTok as well. Running Gun Tarot across all social media. Spirit of gratitude, joy, love, and light, highest possible messages at this time for the general creative collective unconscious. Spirit of gratitude, joy, love, and light, highest possible messages at this time. Just want to see overall, this is for anyone that resonates or watches on the playback. Just want to see what energies we can speak on today. I know yesterday we pulled the Seven of Cups, and also if we get distracted, I am logged on my other channels that I read for, so just keep in mind that I might be pulled away to the side. Happy Friday, y'all. Spirit of gratitude, joy, love, and light, highest possible messages at this time. Spirit of gratitude, joy, love, and light, highest possible messages at this time. Let's see what's come out first and foremost. Okay, so we have the King of Wands in the reverse position. To me, this speaks to, I read this energy as kindness. Leading with warmth and kindness. Essentially being able to illuminate with warmth and kindness as well. So, let's see, where did we leave off yesterday with the planets? With the planets yesterday, we left off with Jupiter in Aries, as an expression of the self, an expansion of the self, what you're capable of doing, what you identify with doing. Jupiter is luck and abundance. I believe in Eastern astrology, though, Jupiter still might be, I don't know if it's in Taurus or Pisces. I know everything's kind of moved back a little bit in Eastern astrology. But if we move over to Saturn in Aquarius, and feel free to watch yesterday's YouTube video, Saturn in Aquarius, Saturn is 10th house, masculine energy, and yet I think it's a little bit of a misnomer. I was thinking about this earlier, how only 4th house Cancerian can be sensitive. That's just the maternal aspect. It's like all roads lead to Rome, right? When you have this kind of like discerning, mechanical, logic, reason, explanative. Yes, I just made that word up. What's up, Softbox? Nature, the masculine nature, that could also be warm and endearing as well. So when we talk about Capricorn talk about Saturn in Aquarius, the ruling sign of Capricorn over Saturn, we're still kind of touching on that kind of, I wouldn't say feminine, it's just a masculine approach to sensitivity, is what I think of. Because I think that Saturn always kind of gets a bad rap for just being hard-nosed and a hard-ass and what have you, but there is a kind of like checks and balances approach. If I had to say this, I would say 4th house Cancerian is more so like the unconditional love, whereas the kind of Saturnian, Capricornian approach to love is more so in regards to checks and balances, and making sure that you're taking the proper steps and the proper discourse so as to achieve your goal ultimately of love with conditionality upon it, which is essentially how a practical world runs. But with Saturn and Aquarius is futurisms, futuristic, groups of people, volunteerism. Always looking ahead. So we're trying to bring this kind of like lock in step, checks and balances in the movement into the future, if you will, with Saturn in Aquarius. It's been in there for coming up on 3 years. March 2023, March 7th to be exact, is when Saturn leaves Aquarius. It's been in Aquarius since December 16th, 2020. And so we've been feeling that. Obviously, these are just kind of general overviews of the planets that I'm going for, but everyone's affected differently depending on their kind of specification of their own natal chart. All right. So, and I'll let you guys know if anything else comes to mind with Saturn and Aquarius. Uranus and Taurus, I've been beating that drum forever. Uranus is the planet of surprises, shock and awe. Taurus is 2nd house materialisms, how you generate income, physical value and worth, and that which you kind of cherish and value in your everyday environment, what worth you bring to the table in practical ways. But Uranus has been in Taurus since 2019, and it's going to be in there until 2025. So there's a lot of like shock and awe, a lot of changes, a lot of shakeups, and of course, we've been seeing that in like the grander global scale as well. Uranus is powered by the sign, or rules over the sign, I should say, Aquarius. So this is typically an off-the-wall, wacky, removed air sign. The only thing that can be expected is the unexpected with Uranus. And when that meets the force of Taurus, which is again more so grounded, material-based, 2nd house, in the default astrological natal chart, then your kind of very fundamental household, even your workspace with a lot of people working from home now, is being kind of shifted. Neptune in Pisces, another slow-moving, heavy-bodied Neptune is. It's been in Pisces, its home sign, since 2012. It's going to be in there until 2025. This is more so just kind of expansiveness upon the vision. Think of like the metaverse, where all of these kind of like blockchain and VR companies are just kind of, in this kind of hot panic, haste, pushing the pace of development and what's the future and how do we create the future now, and oh my god, the future is already here. And so literally it's the kind of envisionment of either that kind of utopian versus the dystopian, and you could even see the kind of polarization of said realities with the dissipation of the middle class. And so, but with the hope that, with Neptune and Pisces, is that all of this is within the eye of the beholder. You see the heaven on earth, you see the hell on earth, based on your purview, based on your projection, right? Ultimately, all of our sources is the same source of light. But the kind of defining factor or forces would be whether or not you choose to kind of turn on that light and shine it and be that kind of shining example, and what have you. There's different philosophies on how to kind of go about that. One thing that I will kind of say, just based off of my own kind of spiritual path and journey, is that some people, well, I would say the ego more so, would have you think that, to operate kind of without being on, so to speak, versus to operate, while being on, if you get my drift. Those are mutually exclusive, but they're not really. They're really on the same spectrum of, are you doing things for the good, or are you doing things for, nefarious forces? So, in the spiritual path or spiritual journey, you don't want to kind of fool yourself into not using all of your tricks of the trade, for fear that you're not being kind of true or authentic. The real true authenticity is, what are you standing for? What are you really upholding? What side are you on? I've been saying this for the longest time. You got to draw, as a human being on earth, you have to draw a line down the middle of yourself. Are you, for good, or are you for bad? Now, I know that life isn't, there's always a gray area, but at the end of the day, what side are you playing for? Okay? And ultimately, that's going to be an expression of how you deal with those difficulties within yourself, and then whether or not you're a kind of force for creationism versus destruction in the external expression of that kind of internal, position within yourself. So we're looking at planetary alignments, we're looking at tarot, checking to see if there's anyone on the YouTube. Okay, what's up, guys, on the YouTube channel? Leave comments. Let me read some of their comments. Nikita, what's up, Nikita? Eve of Bliss. Guys, feel free to tip and donate. I'll be more inclined to answer your questions. Cash App, PayPal, or Venmo below in the description box. If you're on the Instagram as well, go to my homepage and you'll see Cash App, I think, is up there. If you want to tip or donate, keep free content free. Let's see here. So yeah, just more kind of personal questions on the YouTube channel. A lot of love and relationships. Let me just get through a little bit of Pluto and Capricorn. Pluto's been in Capricorn since 2008, okay, since the end of the Obama administration, essentially. It's going to be in there until 2023. I wouldn't be surprised if that's when, if you want to make kind of predictions, if that's when Biden leaves office. I know he's not due to leave office until 2024, but look out for March 2023, and I wouldn't be surprised if anything happened specifically on the 23rd. I'm just going based off of planetary alignments and how long Pluto is in Capricorn. You can follow along at tarot.com/astrology, by the way. It's just a general overview. Another website that I like to use is ifate.com. It's ifate.com. and then they have a nice little astrological setup where they show you the aspects of the planets as well. Pluto is death, transformation, rebirth. Capricorn, we spoke to that 10th house, masculine energy, more of the due process, nuts and bolts, lock and step, next logical, reasonable course of action to take. That's what Capricorn represents. Now, Pluto is a kind of the shifting of that normalcy. Whoever, I'm not the only one, I should say, that kind of has seen, especially with the connectivity of social media, the internet, if you're talking about, morality and value systems, just the whole landscape and terrain of value systems and morality and, virtue has been shifted. And I think that does have a lot to do with that kind of Pluto energy, that birth, death, and rebirth. And with that comes a re-evaluation of where people in their ignorance truly lie, where their allegiances and loyalties truly lie. And, life is the greatest teacher, right? So people that are, taking advantage or abusing themselves and others, they're going to have that kind of karma come back to them. Now, to tie that to kind of the Capricorn, I do think of that kind of like leadership head figure position. And if you also take into consideration like the great waves and cycles generationally by which the kind of masculine authoritarian figurehead is kind of represented and modeled towards the populace. This feels as though, again using Biden, the kind of elderly generation, this feels as more of that kind of death, end of an era. I think recently also we had the kind of I don't know if it was the like 200th birthday, like centennial whatever of the country. I think we had that recently, but there was some big kind of occurrence or happening with Pluto as well. I think it was going direct or forward this past February. But with that, I think is giving this kind of birth and death of certain kind of value systems, which I think that the masculine energy of Capricorn represents. So to kind of try that, tie that Pluto and Capricorn energy together makes a lot of sense. And with that, I think is going to be some sort of kind of new era, essentially, after this kind of administration, after this Biden administration, after 2023. That's what I'm calling. So we'll see how that looks. If you want to have some more predictive energies, we have to look and see what's after Capricorn. What's after Capricorn is Aquarius. So we're going to see, we might even see a very young, new, up-and-coming, futuristic candidate that is all eyes, looking towards the future, thinking of like an AOC type. I think that the next candidate is going to be very young to compensate for this whole Biden thing, or what have you, on either side of the aisle. That's my prediction after this kind of Pluto and Capricorn regime. And just using the expression of, or the example of, I should say, the United States presidency as this kind of guide map to where we see the kind of just the overall landscape of the world shift as far as kind of values and healthy masculinity, and I think that there is going to be some sort of kind of pullback as well, or pushback as well in a healthy way. You saw a lot of the kind of cancel culture, woke culture stuff kind of wreak havoc, and some would argue do a lot more bad than good But I do think that there's going to be more kind of developed, mature, healthier expressions of those in the kind of leadership and power that we see after 2023. Because I think right now we're experiencing a lot of the fallout and the whole kind of cultural whiplash from like OnlyFans to like just all the kind of uses and abuses of technology and connectivity and inflation and again more kind of havoc being reaped on the middle class. So yeah, that's what we're talking about a little bit. So let's see this, and then again we covered the first half of the planets: the Sun, the Moon, Mercury, Venus, in yesterday's YouTube video. So you can check that out, Running on Tarot on YouTube. I'm trying to see if there's anything else that's noteworthy. As far as we have the Moon in Gemini, the Moon moves rather fast. From the 19th to the 21st. Moon in Gemini. Currently, I think we're on the 19th, Friday. So, I mean, to me, when I think of Gemini, I think of flippancy. I also think of manifestation, though. I love the Magician card. We spoke a lot to this yesterday as well through Virgo. Gemini and Virgo share the same ruling planet, Mercury. Gemini is more so third house, which rules siblings, people in your immediate environment, neighbors, communication, a little bit of technological energies as well there. So the Moon being Gemini, the Moon is kind of emotive expressiveness, near and dear to the heart. So you might even find a little bit more of a bonding with your environment, with your neighborhood as well, with the Moon in Gemini. So look out for that. Let me see what else comes out. I want to read some comments. Let's see. Like I said, guys on the YouTube, feel free to tip and donate below, Cash App, and I'll answer your question. PayPal or Venmo, same thing. Anybody on Instagram, if you guys are interested. If not, I'm going to jump to more of a general collective reading, just kind of a free overview of what the energies want to speak to. The King of Wands is in the reverse position. This is more so leading with warmth, light, love. Ironically speaking, a little bit, oh my god, I just blew my own mind. I'll tell you right now. That warmth, that light, that love that we're just speaking to in regards to Capricorn, the King of Wands in the reverse is a very healthy expression of that, considering the fact that in the upright position, the polar opposite across the astrological natal chart of 10th house Capricorn is 4th house Cancerian energy. Now, this is actually the season that we're leaving, but the King of Wands in the upright position represents the transition from Cancerian to Leo season. Remember, we said Cancerian was completely opposite to Capricorn, 10th house. Cancerian is 4th house. So if you imagine the pie chart of the astrological map, Cancerian 4th house is here, directly across is Capricorn 10th house. So for me, this is pointing to Capricorn 10th house as some of the kind of characteristics and attributes of Capricorn. And the fact that this is pointing down, to me, represents more of that kind of like right across the way, right across the street, so to speak, that Cancerian in the reverse, i.e. Capricorn, masculine, right? The opposite of that feminine Cancerian is going to be more so that condition-based Capricorn, and yet still it's warmth and love, and yet well-deserved warmth and love here, okay? It's not just the unconditional, it's not anyone's fool, it's someone that is kind of well-learned, for lack of a better way of putting that, and experienced, and almost kind of commands and demands like honor and respect here with the King of Wands in the reverse, which is very cool, very approachable, very warm, but no one's fool. King of Wands in the reverse. I just thought that was an interesting connection because we're talking a lot about that kind of Capricorn energy astrologically. Let me see what else wants to come out here. Spirit and gratitude to allow my next possible messages for the creative collective unconscious at this time. Okay, we got the Sun card in the upright. This is a very much so 5th house Leo, end of the summertime, moving into Virgo about the 22nd, so in about 3 days. This is 5th house Leo, so double Leo energy here. Remember we said in the reverse position, albeit Cancer, Leo, and upright. Still some expressions of Leo in the reverse position. You can even go deeper and say, well, if Cancer, Leo is King of Wands in the upright, and the opposite is Capricorn, then what's the opposite of Leo? I think it's actually Pisces. Which is a whole other thing. But this kind of more so points to if I need to make a connection there, I could say Pisces is kind of go with the flow. The Sun card is very much so, even though it's 5th house Leo, it's more so the go with the flow, childlike, fun, vacation, relaxation, energy. You know, everything is taken care of, the world is taking care of you. It's a very fun, innocent, youthful energy, but it's also an earned energy. And to kind of put us back on the roadmap, this kind of, if Cancerian is 4th house, maternal, feminine, nurturing, then this Leo energy is kind of what she is nurturing here. So it's very cool to see this. But to me, I kind of read all of this as like the internal expression of like the holy trinity of self. You being the divine masculine, you being the divine feminine, and you being the infant child vulnerable self here. That is indeed kind of divine dance with like the universe and the cosmos. So very cool. Yes, just reading comments here. 10 of Wands in the upright is putting down burdens, letting go of the past, I would say, as well, focusing on the present. This is a very kind of present energy as well. Spirit of gratitude, joy, love, and light, highest possible messages. You can see also the temptation to hold on to resentment here. Okay, the wand in the reverse offsets the 10 of Wands in the upright, and that leaves us with the 9 of Wands in the upright, which is about resentment, walls, what have you. But the Sun card, the expression of the child here is the child being within the walls of Eden, okay, within the gates of Eden here. So this is presence. This isn't holding on to a bad rap. This isn't holding on to bitternesses, but with the wisdom of the King of Wands here. So this is like playing all the different positions on the field and being at a high level of mastery as well. Okay, but the only way that you could do that is if you're not kind of bounded and bonded and bogged down by this kind of past, because in essence it's only a limiting force or factor. Anything else, Spirit, that you want to speak to? Okay, the Ace of Cups in the upright. So with this becomes newness, with this clearing out energy of putting down all the burdens and all the resentments and all the responsibilities and obligations, comes the Ace of Cups, which is newness. This is indeed making room for that newness energy. But you have to let go of all of those, burdens and what have you. That the egoic self is apt to want to replay for you as your reality. But remember, the egoic self isn't necessarily doing that because it wants you to be trapped or stifled or hurt. It just wants you to be safe. It actually loves you. But the kind of how would you say, the journey of man is, I believe, to more so detail and refine that experience via the kind of awoken self, high knowledge of self, understanding that you are both the individual and the universe, and to really use that freedom, that agency, to kind of tailor make your specific dance, so to speak, that you're doing in this lifetime, in this incarnation. Okay, King of Pentacles in the upright position. This is more so about being financially well off, being financially set. This could be your energy. This is an energy of an Aries or a Taurus as well. This is springtime energy. This could represent a year's time from now in the spring, or less than a year. This could represent a male benefactor that wants to offer some sort of emotional expression, or this could again just represent the self and being able to kind of rest a little bit and receive after kind of all the effort and labor that's been put out there with the Ten of Wands being put down. It's also an allegory so as to not let the bitternesses and reticences of the Nine of Wands in the upright block you from receiving your blessing, right? So sometimes the ego gets in the way of you receiving your rewards and your blessings for that which you're working so hard for that which you're working so hard on. Okay, guys, I got an incoming call here. No, Sumya, I'm not doing your reading because you didn't donate. You didn't tip. You got a tip and I'll answer your question. I'm getting an incoming chat here on Chrome, so bear with me. Let's see if it even wants to open. Okay, guys, love and light to you on the Instagram. I'm going to take this reading and I'll have more. Peace. Sure. insight and direction. Let's see. Okay. let's go. We're doing September, October, November, December. Let's do November, October, December, September, October, October. Sorry guys, just doing a live reading on the YouTube. Sorry, not sorry. or on the one of the websites that I read for. Oh yeah, he's born. He's born. Shut the show off.